here has noticed the new beautiful Scott Center or the new turf football field? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Well, who has noticed the new baseball facilities? Anybody? Well, that was a trick question, because there are. The College of Worcester's baseball team has been one of the top programs in the country and on campus for decades. And we still have subpar facilities that, really don't fit to our program's prestige. These facilities are old and run down, they need to be replenished, and I'm offering a solution that we build a turf field with lights, more seating, and substantial bathrooms to get rid of this problem. In this speech, I'll first explain the current problems that the baseball team is facing due to its current facilities. I will clearly state these problems and state their importance. I will then propose a solution and show you how the solution can work and what action you can take. Now, what is this problem? The baseball team, as you know, has been one of the top teams in Division III for decades. However, we do not possess the facilities that other teams of our prestige possess. We have old dugouts, fences, mounds, batting cages, and an old playing surface. There is limited seating, and there are no public restrooms except for porta-johns. Now, let me show you some pictures of went out and took these this weekend. This is just our field from the stands. Nice day, decent field. Here's our dugouts. All right, a little old, but here's our mound. Another picture in the class. That's what we do a lot of work at. Batting cages, as you can see, some of the nets are kind of old and they've been repaired a few times. That's our press box, and those are the main stands that people sit in behind home plate. That is our state-of-the-art storage facility right there. Keep all the burglars from stealing our stuff. That's our state-of-the-art grilling facilities. Burgers in between games. And those are the two other seating areas. This is on the bottom left is on the home side. Those are picnic tables that people's parents or fans can sit on. And then the away side, they have just one set of stands in the outfield. And those are the lovely restrooms that we have. Porta potties with no hand sanitizer or a sink or anything in it, which I think is pretty disgusting. Okay. So, also, our playing surface, it's grass, it's grass and dirt, it's not artificial turf like the football field is. And, having this grass and dirt field in northeastern Ohio, where in the springtime, you get a lot of rain, maybe even get some snow like we had a couple weekends ago. It's really tough when you're trying to get in games and practices as much as you do during the season. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I estimated that I think we missed around 15 to 20 practices and games throughout the whole time they've been, which it's time where you can really be improving your performance. So bad weather. And another thing about having the grass and dirt field, as these guys will tell you too, is tarping field sucks. Whenever it rains, you got to put on this big plastic tarp. You got to roll it out. I think I got a text from one of our coaches that we got to go tarp it today. So, that's no fun and could really be taken care of. Moving on to our batting cages and the screens. When they have holes in them, that really puts people at risk when they're taking batting practice or throwing batting practice. Say you're a coach throwing batting practice to your hitters. There's a hole in the L screen that you're throwing, and he hits one right back at you. It goes through the hole. It could be a pretty serious injury. Luckily, we haven't experienced any of these injuries yet, but it's always lurking. And going on to the pitching mounds, I'm a pitcher. Zach, who's joining us, is a pitcher. And when those mounds are muddy, when you go through your delivery, you can slip. And actually, I interviewed one of our other pitchers, Josh Stidham, on April 12th, and he said, I quote, "There have been several occasions when I've slipped on the mound during my delivery and the field was wet." And I've experienced the same thing too. And although it hasn't led to any injuries, it's dangerous. And these are just some of these negative consequences that affect us on the team and our coaches. Now, when it comes to being a fan, or looking at the college's perspective, we consider you know, the no lights, the limited seating, the subpar, to say the least, public restrooms. And, you know, these all create negative consequences too. Yeah, this was a good injury picture that I found. So yeah, we don't really have that much seats, especially in even the quality of our seating too. It's been estimated that at full capacity we can seat 250 people at games. And you know, oftentimes we get more than this, and some people, you know, just aren't comfortable standing up watching the baseball game the whole time. And then when you talk about the porta johns too, you know, you can't wash your hands in it after. That can just get really gross. I mean, everybody can imagine that. And with no lights, finally, the college is actually missing out on a huge revenue opportunity. If your field has lights, you're actually qualified to host a conference or regional tournament, you know, which can bring in a lot of people from out of town and can make the college a lot of extra money. Now, there have been a lot of complaints. This is Coach P. You know, Coach P is another huge part of our success at the college. He's been here for 30 years. He's had a record of 730 winning percentage. You know, 13 NCAC championships, 20 NCAA appearances, 5 College World Series appearances, and 2 national runner-up performances. And you know, Coach P, he's worked so hard for us, and he's put in so much time, and I think we really deserve, you know, a better facility. And there's been complaints from coaches, Coach P included, players, and fans. A few interviews. On April 9th, I interviewed our catcher and senior captain, Mike DeBoard, and he said, I quote, "The time that we spend taking care of the field takes up a substantial amount of time. This time could be used to further develop our skills if we had an artificial surface." And on an April 11th interview, my dad commented on the restroom saying, quote, "They can be really smelly, and they don't even have hand sanitizer." Right to the point. Now, is it a big deal? Yes. You know, all these complaints, and we're a top-of-the-line program, and you know, I think we really need to get more recognition with our facilities. And why should you care? If any of you guys are baseball fans in this classroom, I mean, if you guys come to a game, I'm sure our facilities will definitely make your viewing experience less enjoyable than it would be somewhere else, you know, especially if you have to go to the bathroom. And even if you're not a baseball fan, you know, we're all supporters of the college here, and you know, having these subpar facilities just, it kind of puts a bad reputation on us, you know. So what can be done? You know, I'm proposing that we really need an adequate baseball facility, and building a turf field with lights and more seating can really, you know, help this problem out. Constructing a turf field will allow us to play in all types of weather conditions, which will lead to fewer cancellations and allow us to work to our highest potential. And also having lights at the field can allow games to be played at night and can qualify us to host regional and conference tournaments. And more importantly, for you know, since we're really concerned about our academics here at the college, having lights at the field, we can have night games, so we won't have to miss class, which is very often a problem during the season. I think I've missed at least 6 or 7 classes every year with our games. Increased seating will allow the facility, you know, to have more fans. It will also make it more attractive for the conference and regional tournaments. And finally, having a high-quality playing surface will allow us to really work to our full potential. We won't have to spend all this time targeting and on-targeting and raking and all these things. There's actually been some examples of facilities at other schools that we played that have been constructed. This is Wabash, you know, another team in our conference, just constructed a new stadium a couple of years ago with lights, no turf, but lights. It's Marietta, our big rival down the road. That's where the regional tournament has been ever since I've been here every year. It's a really nice ballpark. This is Adrian up in Michigan. This is where the regionals have been hosted in several years prior to arriving at the college. They have a turf field and lights. Really, really nice field, I've heard. This is Washington and Jefferson over in Pennsylvania. We played a game there last year. And finally, this is Wittenberg. You know, obviously big rival. So, you know, as you can see, other teams are taking advantage of this, and I think we need to catch up and take advantage of it too. Now, you might be asking a few questions. This is going to be pretty expensive, and you know, where does this money come from? And my answer to that question would be there's a fund on campus called the W Fund, which goes to all athletics, and you know, and it's split up in between the athletics, so it might be kind of tough to get funding, but there's been efforts by the baseball team actually to get together a fundraising group too, so we're working on that. You know, should the college be focused on its academics? As I said before, this is good for our academics because our players won't have to miss class anymore. And how will I benefit from this? How will you guys benefit from it? Like I said before, even if you're not a baseball fan, you know, getting a new facility is going to really boost the reputation of our team and of our college. Now, just picture this. You know, we follow the plan. We see the baseball team continue to be successful, and now we have a great facility. You know, adds on to an already beautiful campus. And you know, all it can do is benefit. So why not do it? Okay. So throughout this speech, you've seen the problems that are affecting our team with its outdoor facilities, a solution to the problem, what the solution can do, and why it will solve the problem. Now, what can you do? As a member of the audience and the community, I urge you within the next 2 or 3 days, maybe go out and just talk to 2 people. Just be like, have you been to a baseball game? Like, you notice the stands, you notice the bathrooms, like, it kind of sucks, right? Like, and then, you know, tell them to tell some people. And, you know, the best, I mean, just telling other people and spreading awareness, you know, it can only do good. So, you know, going back to the beginning of my speech, you're looking at the campus, you see the Scott Center, you see the football field, and now up on that hill you see a beautiful new baseball field. I think that just makes the image of the campus just even better. Questions?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. That needs to be a new facility, and I've seen like Adrian's, and it's unreal.
Yeah.
I feel like people would just be like wondering if you said it's expensive, or like maybe that it's expensive. Like, what type of money would they be looking at to like do like your particular plan?
I've talked with a few people. The place I played this summer down in Chillicothe had a turf field too, and you know, I was asking them how much it cost when they built theirs, and they said it's usually around like $2 to $3 million to build it. So yeah, pretty substantial amount of money. Yeah. Adriana?
Has this been addressed in the campus master plan?
The campus what plan? Master plan? Has it been addressed in the campus master plan? I am not sure.
Well, to give you kind of an idea of what that is, and potentially maybe you can do something with this, should you want to bring this forward. The campus master plan is what the Board of Trustees deem necessary to rebuild and to continue to recruit and develop the enrollment of the college. And so that could be anywhere from residence halls, the auditorium's on it, parking is on it, material is on it. And so, yeah, getting this done by word of mouth is great. The Board of Trustees are the ones who are going to slow it down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for
and
sure.
They're not going to do it if you just talk.
So do you like have to submit something for that, or
I mean,
is there a person to talk to?
For the pool, we had our captains go before the Board of Trustees and talk to them.
Okay. So maybe like when they're here for that lunch thing?
They're here May 31st, and then they're also here April 28th, I think. So it'd be worth talking to them.
Yeah.
This is really necessary.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Any other questions?
You mentioned the revenue from hosting regionals. What kind of money would you be looking at in that department?
The revenue from regionals, I actually have not looked into exactly how much they could earn from that. You know, that's a good point too. I should have looked into that, and I don't know. I'm sure I could maybe contact somebody down in Marietta or something, because I know they've hosted the past few years, and see if I could get a rough estimate. I'm sure it would be tens of thousands of dollars for the rest of you bringing in. Yeah, with ticket sales, and, merchandise, and bringing people into town.
So being that like Coach P's been here for 30 years, it's got like subpar like facilities and still like 7:30. That's a great average
Yeah.
for any baseball.
Oh yeah.
So you think like the additions that you're proposing will enhance that? You think we can see better this year?
Yeah, I think it can help keep attracting, better recruits that come and they see this great facility. We still do get some good recruits because Coach Peach is a good recruiter. He's a tough guy. I think a lot of people like to play for him. But I think having the facilities can, definitely boost that and give people something visual right when they come to campus. So I definitely think it would help. Anybody else? All right.
All right, thank you.